Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Confidence Conversations, coming to you live from Minneapolis. Yay! And coming to you live from Los Angeles, we have Miss Kenny Hazelwood.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, I had to overpronounce her name because I keep calling her Kenny Hazelden, and that is not her name. So it is Hazelwood. So welcome. For those of you tuning in that don't know who I am Dorothy-Inez, and I am a confidence and mindset mentor. Some kind of reason, Kenny, did you do something? We got an echo on the line. Do you hear it? You don't hear an echo?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm hearing an echo. I hate that. So, anyways, hopefully you guys aren't hearing an echo. But it went away. Yay! I am Dorothy-Inez, and I am your confidence and mindset mentor. And what I love doing is helping women feel liberated, feel free from any negative thinking and self-doubt that is keeping them from showing up and shining as their most powerful self online, in person, and in their business. And so today, I'm excited about having Kenny on because we're going to be talking about fashion and its correlation to confidence. I decided to do these confidence conversations because what I found is that there's this stigma. Women don't really want to say, I'm struggling with confidence, especially if you're like me, like Kenny, a woman who's already successful, a woman who's in leadership. The last thing we should be struggling with is confidence. Right, Kenny?
That's the idea, but it's
right. We're supposed to have it all together. And I did a post yesterday for those of you watching. Thanks, Valerie. I see it. Thank you so much. Hey, Courtney. I did a post yesterday, Kenny. I don't know if you got to see it, but I talked about J-Lo. I was watching a video of J-Lo. It's her behind the scenes of her shows, and she does these intimate sessions. And I was so moved by her vulnerability as she shared, because this girl, this is why J-Lo is my hero. She had been sick for days. She had a fever in Vegas, and she went out there and killed it. But to her, she didn't kill it. So behind the scenes, A-Rod was telling her, baby, that was the best show. And she was like, she started crying because she said, I missed this step. My vocals were off this. She was so self-critical that even J-Lo, this woman with all this money, all these fans, all this success, is still struggling with. She said, I guess it's my struggle with feeling like I'm not enough.
Oh, goodness. My goodness.
J-Lo still struggles with feeling like she's not enough, and she has all these fans, all this success. So the intention of these conversations is to invite all of us to have a conversation around confidence, and also to show you how different areas impact our confidence, and fashion and style is one of those areas. So let me introduce my amazing sister and guest, Miss Kenny Hazelwood. Kenny has successfully built a career spanning 15 years with a steady growth of accomplishments and experiences in the fashion industry. She graduated from the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising in Los Angeles, and she is the founder of Wear to Style. She helps women step into the next chapter of their life by helping them to create their own signature style. As a wardrobe consultant, she curates a closet full of personal looks that confidently express who they are through what they wear. So once again, welcome my guest, Kenny Hazelwood.
Thank you so much for having me. And this is such a beautiful opportunity to talk about, yes, what it is I do, but in correlation to the confidence that I've had to create in my own self to be able to get to this point, and how I use clothing and wardrobe to give other women confidence. And it's such a simple, easy thing that we all have in our closet. And if we just learn how to easily put it together, we can step out feeling so much better every day about ourselves, go after our dreams, be a little bit less self-conscious, and using this simple, like I think of using fashion as a tool.
Right.
Every day. Make it work for you.
Yeah, it does. And I'm telling you, it's like putting on your favorite colors, your favorite outfit. It can totally shift your mood. Just for me, putting on this pink lipstick is my signature lip, Kenny, is pink. It just brightens my day. Putting on a cute outfit, knowing I'm looking good, girl, it will change my whole attitude.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so I focus on telling women going into their closets is really the space that I work in. Let go of what no longer serves you. Let go of the pieces you don't wear. Let go of what you don't fit into. Let go of you're just things you're holding onto. And let's curate a closet that you love, so that you love getting dressed every day, so that it's easy and simple. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
to shop, and no matter what it is that you're putting on, you're like, I like this. I feel good. Because you're taking out all the things that weren't working, that were just taking up space, and you don't need that. You just want to create a space that's fun and light and you enjoy being in. And I feel like we've become this such a consumer nation where we're just looking for things to fill us up. So we're just buying. And then we're turning around and being like, why am I not happy? Why am I not like enjoying the things that I already have? But it's not because you're not buying them with the thought in mind of do I need this? Does it serve me? Do I even like it? What does it look good on me? Does it resonate with others? Does it tell who I am? And so when I say I create a signature style, because we need to figure out what your signature style, what do you want the world to know about you? That you're global, creative, and fresh. So let's create a closet that's global, creative, and fresh. Right?
I like that, girl. Okay, write that down for your sister over here. Global, creative, and fresh. Okay.
Yeah, right? We need to and so that when you go shopping, if you know what you like, you can say, like, that doesn't look very creative. That doesn't look very fresh. And so I'm going to move on from that. And it's just these little tips and tricks that make it easier to go shopping, make it easier to identify the pieces that you like. And so that's what we do. We just help you break it down so that you enjoy fashion, that you learn to figure out how to express yourself through it. And so that when people look at you, they see somebody who who fully resonates, like from the light in her eyes to what she's wearing to how she is expressing herself and how she's exuding confidence, all match.
Okay, can everyone see how amazing this lovely lady is? So let me just tell you how I met Kenny. So Kenny, somebody gave her my name, and this young lady was so persistent. She friended me. She came over to my group. She emailed me, and I Kenny, did I write you back and say, assume you were a man?
Yes, right away.
Yeah, because her name Kenny is spelled like a man, and I was like, thank you for reaching out, but I don't allow men in my group. And I thought it was a hacker because she did have a woman's picture on her profile picture, but I was like, oh, this is a hacker. And I said, and something in me, I was going to be, remember I told you, I said, I was going to be kind of smart alecky to you, like saying something, don't try to be slick, putting a woman's picture and then acting like you're a girl. And my spirit was like, don't do that. And then you wrote me back and you had your phone number and I called you. And I am so glad that I trusted that little voice inside that said, don't you press that. Don't hit send, because I would have missed out on the goodness that is Kenny Hazelwood, And so I'm so blessed to have met this sister. She, she is just a phenomenal young woman, and she's got, as you can already see, she's got so much to share. So Kenny, what I want our audience to hear is, tell us how you got into fashion styling. What got you into this career?
Sure. So I had on the golden handcuffs. For a long time, I worked in corporate America and I loved my role. I was a district visual.
Handcuffs.
Yes, because right there you have the stability, you have the money, you have health insurance, you have a 401k.
I know.
You have the living on the beach, and you've spent 12. I spent 12 years building up my career, and when I was in my 20s, that's what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I saw I was happy,
right? Your parents teach you that's the American dream, right?
Yeah. And I loved my role. I had wonderful staff under me, and I could see where my future was. But that was me in my 20s. And as I was maturing, as I was stepping more into my confidence and really focusing on growing my character, the things that I cared about, the job didn't support those things. Mm-hmm. And I kept and I was almost like dueling with myself, like, okay, but I have everything that I want, but I'm not happy. And it took about 2 years before I finally got the courage to finally trust myself. How did you get that
courage? How did you get that courage to step out? What did you need to do? What happened to make you get the courage?
I felt like I was so deep and sinking into myself. Like I couldn't, everything just felt heavy. And I know that God speaks to you in a whisper. And then as a shout, and then as a knock on the door, and then as a shout. And I could just see how, like, even at work, I wasn't performing. At home, I wasn't performing. And like areas of my life, I just wasn't feeling confident because this one thing was stopping me not taking quitting on this or leaving that job meant that I wasn't fulfilling other areas of my life, like going after the things that I wanted in other areas of my life. And I had a really good friend say to me, just put a date on it. Just put a date on it. You can, if you meet that date and you quit, great. If you don't, well, at least you have made steps to come. You will have made more steps to come to that date, and you were a little bit closer to quitting. And so I put a date on it. I put June 15th. June 15th came. Yes, June 15th came, June 15th, 2017. And it was a Friday, and I put in, and I wasn't ready to quit, but I put in my 2 weeks. I'm like, June 30th is going to be it. And when June 30th came, I was so ready. July 1st, I remember waking up the next day and feeling like I had like Sleeping Beauty waking up. Mm-hmm. Like when I say the birds were chirping, they were literally chirping. It's like I could see color again because I made this big move on my life, and it inspired and woke up everything else in my life. And now I could finally go after the things that I wanted. And when I say the birds were chirping, a couple months later, I was walking downstairs and I had looked and I heard these birds chirping, and I realized my neighbor had gotten parakeets. So
the birds were chirping.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh! I remember thinking the birds are chirping. This is all a sign. And it was just my neighbor had gotten parakeets, but it was still serving that day. But maybe they had always had chirping. Maybe they had always had parakeets, and I just couldn't hear them before. And so within taking that massive step, I was able to take other massive steps within my life, and I was realizing that confidence isn't something we inherently have. It's just something that you've got to do.
Right.
And then confidence leads to confidence. I didn't start out confident that I was even going to be, or what I was going to do as a stylist. I wasn't sure what my next move was going to be, but I knew that I could trust in myself at this point. If I could make that big leap, I could trust in myself. And so I decided, what other step do I need to take right now? Because I wasn't ready to let go of, even though I had quit, I wasn't ready yet to just be so big and so open. So I decided to travel the world all by myself.
Oh, wow. one courageous act led to another courageous act.
Exactly.
And so that's how it goes. Like you said, confidence begets confidence. It's like we have to take one step at a time. And as we take those steps, we begin to grow in our confidence. I really love what you said here, Kenny. Number one, there's quite a few nuggets in all that you said. Is number one, there was a price your soul was paying for not saying yes to you. You were feeling down, you were feeling depressed. You weren't performing to the way that the standard that you have for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just taking this toll on you. Then I loved how you said your friend told you to put a date on it. And I couldn't help but think about Beyonce, you got to put a ring on it.
Mm-hmm.
So you put a date on it, which helps you make that commitment. It's first recognizing there's a problem, making a commitment to solve it. And then, how you talked about the reward is like there was this liberation.
Wow.
You began to experience, and how you began, your senses were reopened. Like the girl, like you said, them birds had been there the whole time.
Exactly.
You were too busy jumping out of bed to get to work to a job you hated. And now here you were in a place where, bliss was starting. You're like, ah. And then the key thing, I can't miss this, is how you listened to your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
How your soul was talking to you. You said God came, first in the stillness, then there was that knock, then there was that louder voice. And so in all of this, it's this awakening of who we truly are that begins to happen, that gives us that courage to step forth into that thing we're called to. And that's what I'm hearing happen for you.
I love the way you just wrapped that up. That's amazing. Yes. I love my story.
Well, I'm hearing you, sister. I'm hearing you.
Yeah. And it really did shift so many things in me. And what I also recognize is that it shifted things in my friends' lives, in my family's lives, because they saw like, oh, she did it. She was able to kind of let go. Like I have that, I saw it giving other people confidence as well to be able to do it. And so I will say something.
Go ahead. Because I just want to say on that, because you keep dropping these nuggets. And I'm like, I got to make sure people hear what Kenny is saying. Because when we take courageous steps, and it's kind of a spin-off of that Marianne Williamson thing, is that we give others permission to do the same. We give others, by people watching us, they're inspired to take courageous action, because they're like, what? If Kenny can do this, I can do this. If Dorothy-Inez can do this, I can do this. Mm-hmm. So it's so important to understand that our lives are not just about us, but our lives are here to empower others. And that's what I'm hearing you're doing with your life, Kenny. This is beautiful. Keep going. Sorry to interrupt. You just
here. And what I also found now is that I have to surround myself with people who are on another level, who are on the level that I want to be, so that I can rise up to them. Yeah. And it really, and it's just the more friendships that I make with people who are on the level that I want to be, the more my world expands, the more I take bigger chances and bigger risks, and trust myself, because I also have a support team now. Mm-hmm. who have done it, who are there to share their experiences, who are there. I don't know. I just think it's really important that you also build a tribe of people who understand where you are, where you're going, and are willing to help pull you up, because it's that generosity and friendship too that I've been witness to this past 2 years, that has been such a blessing in my life. And so much of my life I've played alone. I've played as simple and quiet, and I'll do it myself and I'll figure it out myself. But after taking that risk, after taking other risks, I realized I'm like, oh no, it's easier and better with a support team.
Exactly.
Right.
Have that mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
Because these days you're hard pressed to find someone who will sow seed into you without saying, oh, that's going to be $10,000. That's going to be $20,000. So it's wonderful to find women and men if you work with both, but to find someone who sees your greatness and is willing to sow seed into you, or other sisters who see your greatness, and they may be above you and they don't mind sharing what led them to success because they see success in you. And to be conscious, like you're saying, be conscious of who you surround yourself with, because you become the average of who you're around the most. And so if you have friends that are high vibrational thinkers, guess what? You're going to become a high vibrational thinker, right?
Yes. Yes. So true.
This is so important. You're like I said, you're giving us some really great pointers today. Now, when it comes to fashion, Kenny, tell us how you see fashion being correlated with someone's level of confidence.
Yeah. So when you think of a really beautiful woman, uh, you don't necessarily look at like her. You're not necessarily looking at her figure or the way that she physically looks. You're like, oh, she's welcoming. She has kind eyes. She is vibrant. She's just a generous woman. You describe her in different ways, and so you're. And clothing is kind of the same way. When people see what you're wearing, let's say you're wearing yellow, people are gonna feel like, oh, she's friendly.
Mm-hmm.
She is open. She is approachable. And when you're wearing red, it's like, oh, she's sexy. She is feeling herself. And you want or she's authoritative, depending on what situation you're wearing it in. And you want people to, whatever approach you're going into, you want people to see you. If people judge us in 10th of a millisecond after meeting us, that's not even enough time to say hello. Mm-hmm. They've already made an impression, and it's so hard to change a first impression. So when you're feeling good about yourself, when you're feeling good about what you're wearing, and people already recognize that, that's already putting you at another level that they see you, at a higher level where they see you at. And it's simple as putting yourself together with the things that you like. And then if you don't like what you're wearing, don't keep those things, because it's already saying, I don't even like myself. I don't even like what I'm wearing. I don't feel good in it. I'm fidgeting. I'm hiding. That's all body language that you're giving off just based on what you're wearing. So I think it's just important to really recognize when you're getting dressed in the morning that saying, I look confident in this. I feel confident in this. This fits me well. I feel open in this. I'm ready to greet the world. Like, I feel good, right? And I just really want people to understand that your clothing, as simple as something that we do every day, can give you that confidence.
Right. And as you know, I'm an image consultant as well, but I have no desire to shop, do any of this stuff. But what we know, as because you're sharing, oh, when you wear the yellow, it invokes this. When you wear the red, it invokes this, because there's a psychology that people don't seem to understand to clothe, because clothing, accessories, all of these things are nonverbal forms of communication. So they're speaking, and some people don't realize, man, I feel really good around her because that yellow she was wearing is invoking feelings and emotions in people. And I really love that you're a woman of your generation still bringing this message, because I feel like a lot of millennials believe that how I dress doesn't matter. How I show up doesn't matter, because all that should matter is what's in here, just my content. And even a lot of women of my generation have that same feeling. It shouldn't matter, but it does matter, because people are forming, like you said, people are judging us in less than a second. First impressions are being made, and it's very difficult to come back and change an impression that someone has in their mind, and they're losing opportunities that they don't even know they're losing because their clothing is not aligned with who they are.
Yeah, you said it exactly right. You said it exactly right. And I don't want people to miss out on simple opportunities, because if it's between you and someone else for a job and you're both qualified, now they're making their decisions on the simplest little things now, because you're both qualified, you both had great answers. But who do they feel like is going to show up to the job at another level? That's the person who they feel is dressed well. And we're not saying you have to spend a lot of money.
No,
we're just saying, understand what looks good on you and wear that. Understand what colors look good on you. Have your signature style. I always wear hoop earrings. I love wearing the color. I love wearing fuchsias and jewel tones, because I know that they brighten me up and they light up my face. And I love my hair at mid-length, because I know that it's a great length for me. And it's like recognizing you don't even have to do anything. You don't even need me so much as you can just look in your closet and say, I look good in the color red because so much of my closet is red. I look good in this type of a shape because so much of my closet of clothing has this shape, has a high waist or a low neckline or bigger shoulders. Like, you already know, you just haven't done the dissecting work of it, the analytical work of it. And so that's how we support women.
Yeah. Sometimes you do need, well, not sometimes, you still need a Kenny in your life, because I see a lot of women who have hourglass shapes and they're wearing boxy clothes.
Yeah.
So
trying to stay with the trends too much and not really recognizing. So what I serve is like women stepping into the next chapter of their life. So many women are going from corporate to entrepreneurship and need a new style. They're going from single to newly married or new mother. So their style needs to change, or they've been wearing the same thing for a decade now and they've matured and want clothing that's a little bit mature, or they're going from married to single now and need to have a little bit more a wardrobe that supports their new life.
You mentioned her, the sister that's getting divorced, and she's women. Then she needs to come back to life.
Exactly. So that's where we step in to be like, okay, this is the trends. This is what you're gonna have fun with. Give you the confidence to feel good in it. Like, we just go through there and clean up your let go of the things that don't serve you anymore. Let you know what you do need now to support you and just help you get dressed in a way that feels really good and is light and easy. And then I also want to say that it's not just a one-time thing. We do an ongoing process, because because if we only came in your work with you one time, you're going to revert back to your old habits right away. We're trying to break ideas. We're trying to break systems that you've had in place for so long, and give you the permission to try on new things, to feel good. And then I'm here for you to text me to say, I like this, or I don't like this, or what do you think, or which shoe, or just to say, oh my gosh, do you like this outfit too? And I say, I love it. You look great. Go out there and rock it. Rock your world. Rock the
Get it together.
Yes. And I will say, one of the very most precious things that I do that pretty much just is my favorite aspect of my job is giving this to other women. And so I'm a volunteer stylist for Dress for Success. And some of these women have never worked. Their husbands have left them, and now they are going to step into the workforce. Maybe they're coming off of substance abuse, or maybe they've just fallen on hard times, but now they're getting back into the workforce. And they have had all of this negative attacks on them for so long. And now this person gets to come in, and I get to come in and just dress them in a suit that they look good in and feel good in. And when they look up in the mirror, and it's a visceral reaction that quick. They haven't seen themselves like that in so long, where they feel polished and look good and are bright and can hold their head up. That maybe they didn't feel like they had the confidence when they walked in there, but we have just put them in something that's given them the reason to hold their head up, to say, I can go get that job now. I look good. I can go and speak to what it is that I do and feel a little bit more confident, because we put them in a suit. We put them in a cute little dress. We gave them a right fitting bra. We put some really pretty earrings or jewelry. And then we just shower them with love.
That's
So,
beautiful.
yeah.
I volunteered with them too many years ago. In fact, and I just, when you and I first met, I said, I have a bag of clothes, and I finally went and donated those clothes about 3 weeks ago. But, you know, I love what you're saying, because all of it goes back to style. Not only impacts your confidence, but it impacts your credibility and believability, so that you are aligned with who you say that you are. And that's why Kenny is really stressing the importance of having clothes in your closet that light you up, having clothes that make you feel good when you put them on, instead of just wearing whatever's in there, just the average, or buying something just because it's on sale. I'm totally guilty of that, especially when it comes to shoes. And then I get home, I'm like, why did I buy these shoes? They hurt my feet. They were cute in the store for that little walk, but they hurt. And then they end up being clutter in my closet. So it's important that we buy clothes that make us feel good, because it's going to impact how we show up, and it's going to impact the way others perceive us, which is so important when you're doing business. So, Kenny, I have really enjoyed our time together. You and I, last week, we recorded an amazing interview. You are doing an interview series of a lot of phenomenal A-listers. Can you share real quick about your upcoming summit and how women can register for that?
Sure. So I created the Signature Style series, how to harness the power of style, exude confidence, and create opportunities both in life and business. Now, this is an interview series with fashion and lifestyle experts, fashion psychologists, and branding and marketing experts, influencers, beauty experts, and confidence mindset coaches. And I created it because I wanted first to be generous. And all of these experts and influencers wanted to be generous too. We've got so much great tips and advice, and we just want to share it with everybody. And I'm like, how can we do that? How can I better serve my clients and thousands of other women? So I interview each expert, and they give their best fashion advice, tips, ideas, and personal stories on how they use fashion to create confidence, how they use fashion to gain opportunities in business, how companies use psychology to get you to buy, and how to avoid falling into all of their traps as well. And I just wanted to do this because even as a fashion stylist, there's so much more to learn. And I wanted to learn from each of these experts. You focus on confidence. We all struggle we may be confident in one area, but struggle in others. And someone's message that you're going to send, that our interview it'll resonate with somebody and give them the confidence that they need to step out and seek what they've been wanting to do, because they've seen you do it, I do it. There's resources. And that's another thing. There's resources. I want people to know they're not alone. If you want something, go and get it. If you want a stylist, go and get it. If you want someone to support you with confidence, go and get it. If you want to deal with your body image issues, go and get it. These are the resources that are out there for you. And I just wanted to be able to share it. I wanted to be able to make you feel good about what you wear and give you almost like a mini fashion school.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Right?
We had a really good discussion. And when I saw the list of all the amazing women that are on this telesummit, I think everybody should definitely register. What's the link, or can you put the link in the comments so that they can get that?
Absolutely. It is it's called the Signature Style Series, and you can register at thesignaturestyle.com. And each day you will be delivered a new email with a new interview, and each expert just gives their best tips, personal stories, and advice. And we just have great conversations that are meant to uplift you, to show you how to leverage fashion, so that you can see how fashion can better support you in your everyday life. And it's such a great experience. I know that there'll be interviews that'll resonate with you, that'll make an impact, that'll have you wanting to change your wardrobe, wanting to change your life, or just looking at your closet and being able to say, okay, I want to wear that. I feel good in that. I'm going to be able to let go of this. And it's just a really fun time. I know that everyone watching is getting so much benefits out of it, enjoying it. The feedback has been phenomenal. And thank you so much for being a beautiful expert, sharing your experiences, your stories, and supporting us around confidence. It is so, so key and so such an issue that so many women are afraid to talk about and be vulnerable. And it's just going to open up a lot of people to be able to step out a little bit more. And again, it goes from one step to another step to another step.
Beautiful. And so I make sure I've typed this in here correctly. It's thesignaturestyle.series.com.
Just signature style series.com.
No the. See, that's why I needed to verify. So
Thank you,
everyone. It should be there in the comments.
Yeah.
So I hope you have enjoyed our time with the beautiful Kenny Hazelwood today. And if you're interested in connecting with me, I want to first of all invite you to check out my website at www.dorothy-inez.com. Also, if you are interested in just getting to know me better on Facebook, I want to invite you to check out my group. It is an amazing, it's small, but oh my gosh, is it active. It is called The Liberated Soul Collective, right here on Facebook. I would love to have you join the community, and that way you can get to know other amazing women like me, like Miss Kenny, that are in there. And any final word of wisdom, Miss Kenny?
I just want the women to take away that if we're a community, we just want to support you. We love you so much. And if you need us, if you are wanting to create not just a better closet, and not just more confidence, but really true friendships, then join the group. Get around other women. Start listening every day to confidence conversations, and you're going to start building yourself up, even when you're not surrounded by that. Maybe what you see in your everyday life, you can give that to yourself. And I'm just so glad to have been able to share my story. If it's touched you, if you want to connect, I'm here for you as well.
Yeah, so comment, share your biggest takeaways with us in the comments. Replayers, if you made it this far, I always forget to acknowledge you in the very beginning. I'm so sorry. I'm going to get better. But thank you for watching and spending this last almost 40 minutes with us. We appreciate you. God bless you. And don't be afraid to show up and shine and let your light be known to the world. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Bye. Let me see how to stop this. Okay. Bye, everyone.